Yeah, here in Batumi there is a lot of infrastructure going on, and that's very necessary as well because the volume of new apartments is really impressive. The buildings are very impressive. The infrastructure is not impressive. Neither the airport. I have to go to Katauzi. There's also Batumi airport, but it doesn't seem to connect to Austria, or I have to check. And then you see also the access infrastructure is very, very not satisfactorily. And they are building, that's good. There's also this typical poverty which you have in these periphery countries outside of the prime super luxury frontline destinations. You have this enormous poverty and the leftovers, I don't know, from the Russian imperial times and from the Soviet Union, the years in transition, or I don't know, from it's of course very, very, very different social reality between the luxury casino world and immediately I'm just 5 minutes out of Batumi, and you see that there is a completely different reality here, and it's very similar country to Southeastern European countries. That's why I say taking them into the Southeastern European mechanism, that is so logical. When I think that I'm now for 5 years campaigning for this and it has not been achieved, it's really questionable. Hello, good morning. I'm driving now by bus to Kutaisi airport, and my philosophy and everything I ever said is absolutely correct. There's the road to Poti, that's a very important harbor on the Black Sea. It's the idea to have a Black Sea, deep sea port with a lot of capacity to handle the cargo between China and Europe and Japan as well, and to have this Central Sea Road, a Silk Road, which I'm so much advocating. That means basically to use Baku and then they build the bridge over the Caspian Sea and bypass hostile Russia and hostile Iran, because our relation with both these countries will be very difficult in the coming decades to come. There will be chaos in Russia and breakup wars, and maybe they're similar in the Iran. Both nations are abject disaster, and we will have to bypass them, and the Caucasus is the infrastructure to bypass on the central direction without having to cross Russia and without having to cross Iran. And both of them, by crossing them, transiting through their nations, you give them rights and customs revenues and the possibility to block such transport and all these things you really don't want to do. So the Caucasus is also, from the side of infrastructure, extremely important for the European Union and for our allies in Asia and for Central Asia, because also Central Asia we should include in the Eastern Partnership. We should work with them and we should get them into our trading systems by free trade systems, because the